What if Mike Tyson in his absolute prime had stepped foot inside the ring with Muhammad Ali? What if GSP in his heyday had faced off against an undefeated Khabib Nurmagomedov? These are the fights that fans will forever dream about. But what if they did? And by the way, stick around until the end because we have a bonus matchup. You won't want to miss it. Up first is a classic. It's a matchup that has been discussed for decades. His raw strength and punching ability would have overwhelmed Ali. There's no doubt that Ali would land some solid punches, but ultimately, Tyson's power would be the difference maker. He would knock out Ali late in the first round or early in the second. Ali vs. Tyson wouldn't happen. It's not a fight that makes any financial sense. At the time of their careers, when Tyson was relevant and when Ali was relevant, they were both making millions. So money wasn't an issue. It just wasn't meant to be. They fought different opponents. They had different styles. So it's not a matchup that really makes sense. But what if, for the sake of argument, they did get a chance to fight? Honestly, this one doesn't even need much explanation. In my opinion, Tyson would destroy Ali. That's just the way it would go down. I know it's hard to imagine because Ali was such a dominant force during his career. But remember, this is a prime for prime matchup. That means Tyson in his absolute best days versus Ali in his best days. Remember, this is peak Tyson and peak Ali. Tyson was known for his ferocious style and knockout power. He had a record of 50 wins and 6 losses, with 44 of those wins coming by knockout. Ali, on the other hand, was known for his speed and agility and boxing skills. He had a record of 56 wins, 51 of those wins by knockout. Some people might lean toward Ali, while others will say Tyson would win. But remember, I'm going purely off their fighting styles and what I think would happen if they were to fight today. I don't care what people think. I don't care what anybody else says. Now, I know what you're thinking. What about Ali's rope-a-dope strategy? How would Tyson fare against that? Well, to be honest, I don't think it would even matter, but he did use it effectively against Joe Frazier in the famous Thrilla and Manila bout. But remember, this is a young, hungry Tyson in his absolute prime. And he was known for being virtually unstoppable. It's a great strategy, but it wouldn't work against Tyson, and that's why I think Tyson would win. There's another angle to consider here, though, and that's the trash talk. Ali was the master of trash talk. He could get inside your head like few others. And that's exactly what he did to several of his opponents. But I don't think it would work against Tyson. Remember, Tyson was no stranger to trash talk himself. Plus, Tyson had a thick skin when it came to trash talk. So I don't think Ali's trash talk would faze him at all. Tyson stood 5 feet 11 inches. That's tall and weighed in at 220 pounds during his fight against Michael Spinks. Ali, on the other hand, was 6 feet tall, but he only weighed in at 216 pounds during his fight against George Foreman. So yeah, Tyson was bigger and stronger, but Ali was taller. Well, oddly enough, Ali actually had the longer reach at 86 inches compared to Tyson's 82-inch reach. But size isn't everything. Reach isn't everything either. It was too strong and too powerful. What do you think? Would Ali beat Tyson, or would Tyson dismantle Ali? Let me know in the comments. Next up is a fight that would be much more competitive. It's Georges St. Pierre versus Khabib Nurmagomedov. This one is much closer than you might think. Both of these guys are pound for pound. Two of the greatest to ever compete in the sport of MMA. They're both extremely well-rounded. But they do have different skill sets which could be exploited by either fighter. Take GSP, for example. He's definitely capable of knocking someone out, but that's not his bread and butter. Khabib, on the other hand, has elite striking skills. He's perhaps the most well-rounded fighter in UFC history. So who would win? Honestly, this one is tough to call, but I'm going to have to go with Khabib, and here's why. Wrestling is going to play a huge role in this fight. Both guys are excellent wrestlers, but I think Khabib's wrestling would give him the edge. I mean, he was virtually impossible to take down. Look at Justin Gaethje. Gaethje is arguably the most exciting striker in the UFC today, and he's a former college wrestler, yet Khabib took him down at will. He literally manhandled Gaethje inside the octagon. So I think Khabib's wrestling would give him the edge over GSP. Not only that, but Khabib's striking is elite. He has devastating knockout power, and I think his striking would be the difference maker in this fight. It'd be hard for GSP to keep this fight standing, but if he did, I think Khabib would knock him out. If the fight hits the ground, however, I think Khabib would dominate. And that's why I think Khabib would win this fight. He's too well-rounded. He's too good on the ground. And honestly, he's too good everywhere. And then there's the trash talk. Khabib is known for getting inside his opponent's heads before the fight even begins. Just listen to what he said about Conor McGregor ahead of their matchup at UFC 229. Yeah, I know all the trash talking, but I don't care. Do you know what? I'm gonna smash you. I'm gonna break you. Your wife will never love you anymore. You are a proper man. You have to prove yourself. This is what I want from a real man. Go, you're a proper man. I'm gonna kill you. I am the real deal. This is what you must understand. Meanwhile, GSP is a bit of a different character. He's reserved, he's humble, and confident. In fact, he rarely talks about his opponents, and he doesn't seem interested in getting inside their heads. In fact, ahead of his fight with Nick Diaz at UFC 158, GSP said this: "I respect him a lot as a fighter. He's a tough competitor. He's durable, and he has a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I think it's going to be a very tough challenge. He's a guy that doesn't give up. But I know with my team, with my camp, we've worked very hard for this opportunity, and I'm going to make the most out of it." When it comes to trash talking, clearly Khabib would have the advantage here. I don't think GSP's trash talking would bother Khabib at all. In fact, I think it would make him even more determined to finish the fight quickly and make it a short night for GSP in the end. I think Khabib's well-rounded game along with his trash talk would be too much for GSP, and that's why I think Khabib would win this fight. I think he would defeat GSP via TKO in the third round. So there you have it. It's two legendary matchups that never happened but should have. Who would win? Mike Tyson vs Muhammad Ali, or Georgia's St. Pierre vs Khabib Nurmagomedov? Which fight was better? Which fight would you like to see? And which fight do you think was more entertaining? Let me know in the comments. And now for the bonus matchup. It's the fight that I think would be the most entertaining: Floyd Mayweather vs Conor McGregor. This one doesn't even need much explanation. Mayweather would box McGregor into oblivion, no doubt. But McGregor would land some devastating knockout blows. In the end, Mayweather would win via TKO in the 10th round. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Be sure to stay tuned for more videos. And as always, remember, you're just one subscription away from greatness.